Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, right? Yep, it's Wednesday. So, how's everyone doing? Welcome. Just made $300 using ICT Episode 3, Mentorship 2022. Nice job. Yeah, someone said they've been waiting for 1 hour. It's totally my fault. I put 8:15 a.m. instead of 9:15. It's always at 9:15. I don't know how. I messed that up. My bad, but welcome. It's not that happy, honestly. Oh, saludos desde Colombia. Hello, Colombia. Welcome. Bienvenidos. So, where are we on the daily, right? We haven't gone anywhere the past since Friday, right? So I just wrote in my little notebook, no high expectations and to risk small, right? We're just back in this range. We're back below yesterday's low, back below Monday's low. You know, this daily fair value gap, we wicked it twice. Now we're back in it again a third time, so that's typically not really that great. Price hasn't really been wanting to show willingness to go to either side, right? Right, in the 4 hour, even the 1 hour. I'll delete my little markups from yesterday. Price could not get to the buy side yesterday by the end of the day. We tape read it pretty nicely. So what do we think is going to happen at open? We had 8:30 news. Didn't really do much. London made a local low where it swept yesterday's low. Previous day low is now here. Overall, the action, we're very much in a consolidation. There's been no closes, like really below lows with displacements, right? No fair value gaps on the larger time frame where it breaks a short-term high or low. So, low expectations. It doesn't look good. NQ is not fun to trade recently. Not easy this week. I'm one for two. So first on Monday I made 2.6 R, and then yesterday I negative 1 R. So today I just wrote in my notebook, low expectations, risk small. Yeah, we slept the lows, so we can put a little pull out. We still left these equal highs. Doesn't mean we have to get to them today. Could get them to them on Thursday or so, but definitely some things I've marked out on my chart. We'll have to see. So today we had preliminary GDP, and then we have G20 meetings all day today and tomorrow, so it could be larger range days today and tomorrow. Okay, let's look at the hourly. I mean, NQ is really not the cleanest. All I see is like a BISI in the middle of the range, and I don't really care for that because it's in the middle of like a range that's been consolidating. You know, we have this like lower fair value gap here near the middle of the daily fair value gap. Previous month's low. We'll have to take a look at DXY. But DXY I've been complaining about every day, just like it hasn't been clean. Most days has just been like consolidating. Good morning. So, right, ES over here. I mean, this is DXY. Look at how many days we were just consolidating, like so many days in January, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it finally pushed up. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like literally 11 days here, and then again, consolidation. So pretty muddy action in indices because of that. So, and probably Forex as well. You've been, if I'm like thinking about like in the past 2 weeks, like there's been maybe like 3 or 4 like really good trading days. So I'm willing to wait for those conditions. So yeah. Don't like push the button too hard. I literally wrote in my notebook, like essentially I start out my day with like the plan. How much are you going to risk? Like you should know that before the session based on the environment, right? Okay. Well, ES is not really. I said yesterday it looked more bearish on the 4-hour than NQ did, right? I marked out this little volume imbalance. It tapped it twice. Then headed lower into this little fair value gap. We had this huge move up. We could like go lower today. I mean, it really depends. Can consolidate. And at the close, ES took those highs while NQ did not. Like, where is it here? Right here. 345. It was taking the pre-market highs. So we have like we have a divergence in that manner. What do you guys think? I don't really have high expectations. Like, you know when you like start out the morning and you're like, I don't feel good about this, essentially. Let's take the poll up or down at open. So when you have like that sort of like read on price, then make sure to put in the precautions to stay solvent, essentially, right? You don't want to risk too much. You don't want to lose too much. Protect your capital, mental and financial. I mean, we just had sort of like just a grind down lower. Nothing clean. Where's midnight open? Up here. 8:30 open is here. It got choppy again on our session, Tanya. Yeah, it got choppy during New York again. London looked like it's on the 15-minute. London just looks pretty nice following bearish order flow. ICT in the house says it looks like it's a rattlesnake. It's my favorite animal pattern. Yeah, we just started dropping during Asia, it looks like. Hmm. No willingness to just go for either side, really, so. Yeah, I don't feel good about today. Yo, what are we trading this morning? Anyone new? Welcome. You can look at the watermark on the bottom of the screen here. It always says like which ticker and which time frame I'm looking at. So the NQ and the 15-minute. And then I'll tell you when I switch over to look at ES for a little bit. Every high impact news release is being muted. Yeah, I would think, I don't know what we're going to do. Like we're sort of between like two PD arrays, so that's always when it's more difficult. Like I wouldn't say like people are saying like to the upside like we could, but like I wouldn't say that there's any market structure shift to the upside here. It's just a fair value gap. Like okay, it's like low probability though. I don't have a good feeling. I feel like it's just gonna leak lower. Maybe we'll have some sort of reversal at 10. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for a silver bullet for sure. So 3 minutes into the open, 53% say up, 47 say down. Pretty much every day, it's 50-50 on that poll. So pretty interesting. Right. So we had that. Someone said, how do you work out SMT? You look at the whether ES took a high and NQ did not. Which we have here. I'm gonna like just delete this first. We have it here. On the hourly. ES took that high. That is like bearish. Okay. You see. So just like working off of that, like, you know, you would have to like use like episode 12 advanced structure to work that one out. Which I don't really like love doing. I'd rather wait for confirmation. What is ES? The S&P 500. Thank you. Thank you, FL Castillo, for moderating. That's That's like my main moderator. We'll be bullish at open. Crazy markets at this time. Don't forget pinning ICT's comment. I can't be pinning every one of his comments, really. He has like a verification badge, so you'll see it. All right, it's to open. Let's see. Thinking of like weekly profiles, if we're still bullish, then, you know, it would be like a Wednesday low of the week if we keep that low from London. Right, we have that SMT, but like I said, that would be like really early. There's not really like a break of a low of a fair value gap. On like the 15 or like the hourly, that's like clean. So, and also I don't really short all-time highs. Nor like I said, we're consolidating, so this is like the bottom end of that consolidation range. So these are all reasons why I'm not going to short. In this area, at least. I mean, yeah. It's so ugly. Not really anything at open. We didn't take any sort of liquidity yet. So I'll just stay on the 15 for now. This is the previous day's low, fair value gap. We'll have to just watch. Mm-hmm. Forgot what I was doing. I have to think for a moment. Okay. Just writing my notebook. Consolidation. Conditions. HRLR. Yeah, I wanted to look at DXY again. So, what's that range so far? Pretty large range and it didn't really go anywhere. So it's a difficult market there, right? It's like a 50-point range there from like where we went to the upside and downside. It's not like we took any major liquidity. Okay, I'm also watching ES. Yeah, nothing really happened. So I'm making sure that I'm not going to get hurt in the range, you know? Like if you want to increase win rate, one thing you can do is just like only get involved at major levels, like the past 3 days lows and highs, previous week low and high, session lows and highs. And the 15 ES did not take this low at 745. Just now that's an SMT. A little divergence there. Make sure I look at the Dow. Dow is very weak. It's below London low. So the Dow is already below this area. YM. ICT is noting this as buy side, so I think this is like a hourly fair value gap low, right? Yeah. Pretty reckless action here. So, yeah. Still, I'm not too crazy about this. It's only 9:37. It's a 9:30 high. And tapped it back lower. Indices out of sync as always. YM is still just very weak. It's going to be any good to get bought up in this fair value gap and then head towards there. You already have like these 3 small body candles. It's not in any rush. So I'm going to definitely wait until 10. Especially YM is like still very weak. DXY is just being DXY. You know, it's bullish. It's above that daily fair value gap. It's showing like it's a sloppy structure on DXY. Like from here to here in 4 minutes, it was like a 50-point range, you know, and then back up. It's a pretty dangerous market to get involved in right now. So I'm not pushing the button right now. Although, like, you know, there's some indicators here like SMT. But it's not clean enough for me. And price action is nasty work, yeah. The fact that it's like, look at this, like, it's not, like I said, it's not in any rush to get anywhere, so that means it's going to hang around in the range some more. So I would rather get involved in a fast move, low resistance liquidity run. So I'll just wait for better price action. Yeah, someone says it is a possible long from here, right? The breaker and the fair value gap. That's why I have it marked out, but it's just not worth me putting money down behind it. The fact is, if you have like a breaker and a fair value gap, like it shouldn't spend a lot of time here. So it should really just be quickly bought up once and then go higher. So the fact that it's like dipping a second time now and not being very reactive shows that, to me, it's going to dribble down lower again. But I can watch price and see what happens. Like, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These small bodied candles now. We'll see where this one ends, but this one's large, probably going to be large to the downside. Oh, we'll see. 30 seconds in this candle. Time and price, watch 950 macro. Someone says, yeah, we can watch it. It could be time distortion, which means it's just in a holding pattern until the 950 to 1010. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay, then definitely should not come back down here now. Yeah. Not in any rush. Look at that. See if it's an immediate rebalancing or not. No, it's not. So, not really. No, sloppy. Back lower now. Happy I'm not involved in this. Look at that, like, this totally faked so many people out. Yeah, so no bueno here. Happy I'm not to take that overall. Still the first 15 minutes of the day, you know? Like I said, I literally got to this charts today and I told everyone I don't have a good feeling about today. Even yesterday I didn't have a good feeling about, but yet I still pressed the button and you see what happened to me. I got stopped, but it's totally fine. Risk was managed, but today I don't have any good feeling. Like, if I take any kind of trade, and this is how I manage my risk, is like before the day starts, I write out how much risk I'm going to take and whether it's going to be on eval or funded. If it's going to be lower risk, it's either just going to trade an eval account, or you can do demo, whatever, or just micros on the funded accounts. Okay, micros make money and they can also do damage, right? So you got to be careful. The biggest point is not to overtrade it. See, we're just still back in the range now. So hope I kept people safe here, at least. I stayed safe, at least. Yeah, I'm not... Like, look at this 15-minute right now, right? It's destroying people both ways. It's going to end in, it's 16 seconds left in this 15-minute candle. It's going to end in a tiny body. Indecision candle, right? Doji. But with very large wicks both ways. Right? So this is literally like 100-point range, I'm pretty sure. Okay, wait, from here to here, 50 points. Okay. 50-point range there. Okay, right now it's 950. I don't need to mark out every little thing. But you see, like, we never really took any significant buy side and sell side, which is why I didn't really like the long to begin with, because all we really did was have a SMT and we filled in a 15-minute fair value gap. It's not really major liquidity. And we also have an SMT, I mean, like up there. So this is where it's like very difficult. You have an SMT here and here now. So that's another signature is you have so many these like contradicting SMTs, right? Because you have, this is a bearish one and then this is a bullish one. So not really much. The bearish one is probably a little stronger because it's on the hourly. Megaphone? A megaphone pattern? That's not a new pattern. It's a pretty retail pattern, whoever's saying that. So it just means like it's just seek and destroy. You're making higher highs and lower lows. Some people call it broadening formation, etc. It's whatever you want to call it, semantics. I don't really care what people call things. Whatever makes you money. But this is where people wreck themselves in ranges like this. So be careful, everybody. I'm not trying to wreck myself today. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Hit that like button. Welcome, everyone. Oh my god, 35. What? 3,500 people are watching? LOL, Queen's Girl. Decoupled, no symmetry in price. Yes, firm and NQ week, correct. Yep. I'll pull up ES. This is NQ right now, and I'll pull up ES for everybody to see. Right? ES is still hanging around, while NQ is near its lows. So, we pointed out why the long was low probability. So I hope I helped people. Right, I'm just looking at... Yeah, YM is below its London low here. And it broke it with a fair value gap, actually. It was on the 15-minute. Very weak. NQ just broke low of day. YM is retracing into a bearish PDRA. Right? The 15-minute fair value gap. Bearish. ES is the strongest one. Typically, that's not what happens. Typically, like, you know, NQ is the stronger one. ES is in the middle. YM is weaker. Or, you know, typically ES is like the middle sister. So, it's low probability conditions right now. Looking at DXY, like, you know, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know. Where is it going to retrace to? We don't know exactly. Like, it's still bullish. It's bullish on the daily. Where's the previous week high here? I'll mark that out. It's still in the inside week. I think we're also inside week on NQ and ES, right? So I'll mark all those out as well. So just stay safe today. I'm sure there's some people that blew up accounts already, or because they kept pushing the button. I thankfully have learned my lesson a little bit on that manner, right? So look, previous week, we're still an inside week on ES. We're holding up the higher portion of it, sure. What is this one? Someone tried to tell me immediate rebalancing. What's this one? What's this high? 66.5. Not really. This is like 63.25. So, you know, we're just leaking lower into this daily fair value gap. We don't really know where it's going to pause. Essentially, ES is holding up above previous day low, and Q is not, right? This previous day low, it's like now leaking lower from here, right? Took the London low yet? Not yet. So now you took some sell side here. The session low. Let's see how it reacts there. If we're in a true like consolidation market, you know, it's not going to have continuation. It's probably not going to displace below it. It's probably going to like retrace again. Watching ES here, it is holding up. So this is now a larger SMT on the hourly. Hourly for NQ. This is the midpoint of the daily fair value gap. We do have like an hourly fair value gap, like a 4-hour probably here. Yeah. But I have low expectations, right? So right now this is an SMT with ES on the hourly. If ES doesn't take London low. So this is going to be if it is going to turn bullish, will be stronger than what that 15-minute was before. But very low expectations, very ugly action. Came in today with a bad feeling, so happy so far. That intuition is correct. And that like my actions did match my plan, so. Welcome everyone, 3,600 people. Hit the like button. This is the #1 day trading show, #1 growing live stream. It's actually insane. Shout out to ICT for the shout out yesterday. Crazy. I literally like my mouth dropped. I was like, what just happened? Like I know he hangs around here, but I was just like, oh my gosh. Fun. Okay, let's look at looking at ES here. Right, that's what I'm talking about, is that we didn't take this low in ES. Like I said, right, this is where it's so difficult because you have an SMT here promoting bearishness. Right, ES took this high and Q did not. And then you have like the SMT down here. And it's like, oh. It's like low probability. ES here did go into this hourly fair value gap now, but it is like in the middle of the range. So that's why I don't really like these kinds of PD arrays. I mean, there's like it's like a BPR essentially. So it's tough. Essentially is what I'm saying. It's tough. I'm sitting on the sidelines for now. You know, when NQ is leading lower, it's typically like ES will follow suit. It's not like ES is going to bring it up higher, you know. If anything, it kind of looks like the bearish SMT, and then this one retraced into the hourly fair value gap, and NQ was too weak to even do that. And to me, it feels like, you know, ES will follow suit and break lower, break the London low to go into maybe the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap that also lines up with like at the top of this breaker. You know, we're still in a premium of this leg up from Wednesday. Quite the premium. But I'm not really rushing into longs either. But, you know, I also don't short markets at all-time highs. But what I'm saying is like all these decoupling is not really great. It doesn't call for like easy trading, especially day trading. Okay, look at NQ. Looking at NQ, I'm looking at like how this is wicking. Like I said, like I thought, okay, if we're in like a high resistance liquidity run, right? we're typically just taking lows and then like going back into the range, or taking highs and then going back into the range. So that's the idea here, is that it's not going to close below this with like a fair value gap, and it's not going to continue. It's just taking this low and now going back into the range. So we'll see how this 15-minute ends. It looks like it is doing that. So it took a session low. SMT there. The brave people of the world are just like gonna buy this. But that's not my model. I wait for confirmation. I wait for a shift. Especially like it took a London low. You know. When you can frame something both ways, it's when it's low probability. Someone's asked me how many trades do I take per month. Well, there's 20 trading days in a month. I don't trade every day, and I'll average like 1 or 2 trades a day, maybe maximum 3, unless I'm like over trading. So I don't know. I would say like every week there's probably like at least 1 day I don't trade. So I don't know, 30 trades a month. I don't know. So looks like that's working out for now. But it's still not a clean type of structure, you know. There's no shift. And yeah, I mean, this is where the brave souls are like doing like SMT or turtle soup or whatever they want to do. I can just watch. I don't do those types of entries. Previous day, we were still also below previous day low. So what the daily looks like how do you guys think the daily is going to end? For me, what I think the daily is going to end, it's going to wick again in here. But I also don't think it's going to end green. So that doesn't really give me much to work with, right? Like, where is the buy side? And we have buy side all the way up here, but like we're so far from it. If it gives me, it'll give me a better confirmation if we're actually going to go for that. So silver bullet hours starting in about 2 minutes. It'll be 10 a.m. So we'll see what ends up happening. Will the market lend its hand? So far, so good. Tanya did not lose any money. Yeah, someone said we had that's a really good point. We had an extended London session, which means like it contributes to seek and destroy. Yeah, that's true. So when you have like a large range session before, when London is such a large range, so we can see from here. Is it Command M or Control M? Oops. I don't know what just happened there. I was trying to get the shortcut for the measuring tool for, what is it called? For TradingView. But whatever, the ruler. There's a shortcut to do it, and then by accident I just minimized all my windows. Too funny. Shift M. No, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll just click the ruler. Okay, so from here to here, it's 115 points. Yeah, so from London. And even we had a larger drop from Asia. 123 points. For me, like, that's pretty much the ballpark. If it's 100 is my like number for when London's bigger than that or pre-market, then I avoid like the first hour of the session. So it's 10:30. It's leaking lower. Happy I didn't get involved there for any type of longs. There was definitely no confirmation for that. Yep, NQ leaking lower. ES holding up. I'll just delete this. Right, look at ES. Still just in this range for ES, right? Just barcoding on this 15. Like, just don't get chopped around. Like, it's not good action. No reason. Didn't really take any buy side or sell side here. Right? It retraced into the hourly fair value gap at the 8:30 news. Didn't like break any type of structure to the downside, right? So this is not even like a balanced price range. It can return to it. So, in the range, boring day, honestly, but happy I stayed safe. Like, you know, okay, YM, like I said, it was cleaner to the downside. It's the sickest sister. It was below London right before open. Made a 15-minute fair value gap, retraced to it. Still, like, not really, like, moving with any kind of speed, you know? Like I said, it's not like in a hurry to get anywhere. So let's see if this low stays intact. It's 10 a.m. We can mark out like the last short-term high. Right, so took London low. It's not like it closed below it with a displacement or anything. So to me, that's not continued bearishness, right? So if we're in a seek and destroy or high resistance liquidity run, then it's just going to go back into the range or back into buy side next. So that's what I'm sort of looking for to see if there is a shift. Even so, that's not going to be easy. All right, so that's like indicative of a shift right there. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Market structure shift. So let's see if, like not even like the mood, but like I'll have to try the long. But anything I'll do it on micros, like I said, risk small. Huh? Why is like the 1 minute on MNQ so different? That's the 1 minute. Yeah. Weird. Oh, a Ninja is a little bit faster sometimes. So we'll see if there is any fair value gap. Yeah, there is right there. Ugh, I'll have to try it. I didn't take it yet. We'll see how it reacts. Yeah, I'll try it then. What is this low here? Literally taking 4 micros because it's not high probability. And it's like only a 13-point stop, so it's like, okay. Yeah, so we completely violated that, so it's really not clean. ES is moving higher. We could take the low again, so we'll see. The idea would be just to like come back into 50% of the range for me. No, that's no good. But like I said, micros. We'll see what happens. YM is picking back up. No setup yet. Yeah, I don't like how it is here, so I'm just gonna cut it real quick, honestly, for -5 points. So what is that? Down like $100, not a big deal. Or not even. $36. That's fine. $42.95. That's fine by me. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking about? Maybe I should demand it on the 5-minute. And right now, I don't really care that I closed it here and it's pumping back up, by the way. So it's totally fine. You guys, the market makers are watching this stream right now because look at that. Just joking. I can always re-enter. It's not a big deal. Now we shifted again back up. I'm gonna mark out this like 5-minute inversion. Potential inversion. This does not mean I'm getting back into here, by the way. To me, that actually don't really even like it that much. It kind of feels like another fake out. I don't know. We'll see. Bum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum. Alright, well it did break a high with a displacement now. Ba-da-dum bum. I think that's like my thinking, soundtrack. It's a 5-minute inversion. Let's see if it closes above. Yeah, we inverted this as well. Actually, this is even better. We don't need to do this anymore. But I think this was I actually like this now, right? So this is the candle that took liquidity at the London low and it created a fair value gap. So that is the inversion I definitely look at. And here we did a structure shift that's confirmed by this inversion here, right? And so this is kind of like where a lot of PD arrays are converging here at this moment. You have like mitigation block. I wouldn't call this a breaker. The breaker is probably up here. You have the fair value gap, you have highs, you have inversion. So let's see if it does retrace. Then I will get back in, it's totally fine. Thank you for pointing out that turtle soup, someone says. Ha, you're welcome. Some people like the turtle soup, so someone's up 4.2K. Crazy. Cat revealed to scare market maker. I think he's sleeping. I'm not gonna... You can't just call a cat like you can call a dog. So this is where you cannot panic, right? Like, it's gonna either be fine if it runs without me, but I'm not going to enter or chase in a premium over here. So, a few things converging. Let me see what the honestly, I should make sure I don't read the chat while I'm in a trade because there was some influence there, but it's fine. It would have been worked out to midpoint. That trade would have worked out. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Anyway. See what happens. We are back in the range. Failed to displace here. We now have an hourly SMT. Inversion, this little fair value gap. Let's see if it gets below here. And below this low. 06. Tilt alarm. Perfect timing. Alright, so small buy here. If it comes back here, I will add a little bit more. But I typically am just going to go into the fair value gap here. All right. See what happens. It's a 10, 15. Right, my tilt alarm. Okay, so you see I wasn't worried about missing a trade, wasn't chasing. So let's see if we can get to the buy side. I will measure out, like, what did I want to say? It's nice to see that, like, YM is currently inverting the 15-minute fair value gap that broke London low. We'll see if it holds up there. Hopefully it does. So it looks pretty decent so far, right? I was not in any sort of drawdown. So far, it can come back into this, right? Because it's not closing above this. But I would like to see, you know, speed. It can hang around. It can come back in here. That's why I said I took the buy into this fair value gap so I don't miss the trade. That's like the first possible trade. But anyway, let me try to think. I'm trying to get some targets here. We have the hourly fair value gap. I think I can go for that. I'm not putting my stops up right now because I just don't feel like it. I don't want people to completely follow me. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see if that lines up with any sort of standard deviation. Decent. The 2.5's failure swing. That's pretty decent. And also this one. Let's see this failure swing. Yeah. So this is actually pretty decent, and also like -1 of this leg up. So we'll see if it happens. So far, so good. Can retrace back into this, so I won't be surprised if it does, especially like let's see how this candle closes. Looking at the 15 looks decent, right? 5. Created a 5-minute fair value gap there. Tiny one. I believe so, right? What's the high here? 06, what's the low? 07, a tiny one. So, like I said, it's back in this one. Back in here now. If it inverts this, like, I'll just cut the trade, you know? Probably, yeah. Well, my stop can be here. I have so many people oh my god, what the hell? 4,500 people watching. Okay. That's crazy, sorry. Excuse my profanity. Anyway. Patience. Look at it, how it dipped back into the CE of that. I don't want it now to come back again, right? Then it's totally not going to work. Now I'm hoping that that's the manipulation. Taking a low out into a fair value gap, and I would like now to see speed. But what time is it? 10:22? Yeah, speed. And let's get here by like 11. If there's no speed, then it's gonna suck. Which is why, like, I said I'm risking small, because it's just like low probability conditions, and also I knew that I would have a large audience today. Welcome. Hit that like button. That's insane. Hashtag micros make money though, so let's see. I want that this is the manipulation. I really want like us to come back in here, so definitely if it inverts this, I'll cut the trade. Anyway, some coffee time. I can't really... We'll see. Thinking about... Right, and this was okay, right? Remember when I had this? This is actually really nice because of that, right? There's so many things that converge there. The inversion, etc. But, like I said, so that would be like where 3 PD arrays fail. So. And I wouldn't want to really be in it anymore. If it inverts it. I feel like my screen just glitched, like what? I'm marking out 1050s here. What's ES? ES on the 5 looks decent, I mean, whatever. DXY is dropping. Not really good, like how it's stalling, right? So it's likely not gonna work out, honestly. Because I wanted speed in this candle. We'll see. Didn't break below, still holding up. The bodies are telling the story for now. Holding up in the top 50% of it. But really, like, not my favorite type of action. Not really great action. Like, it shouldn't hang around in this fair value gap for long. So I don't really want like another candle in here. I want this to now shoot up from here, essentially. Otherwise, it's gonna just like leak lower. Okay, closed above it. It's shooting back above. We'll see. I have to put in my stops just so I'm protected in case it does go. Like, I'm putting a wider stop, but like my stop will be if it inverts this. I shouldn't say, Tanya, don't say your stops out loud. The market makers are listening. Don't follow my trades, please, people, unless like you have the same idea. This is entertainment / education, whatever. Like, I don't like that it's hanging around so much here. I keep saying that, right? So it is likely not going to work out at this point, right? Because I've been in the trade for 12 minutes now. And oftentimes, like by then, it should be already, like, if it's a good trade, it should be already up. So you see here, yeah, no good. Likely not going to work out there. So that's definitely going to take me out. I'll wait until this like candle finishes for me to flatten all. I mean, I have micros, so it doesn't really matter to me too much. But you see, I don't like that at all. It's no good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, wait. It didn't close below it, but it's just not good. I'm gonna flatten all. Close below this, hanging out too long. If it comes back above, I might think about it, but it's just not a low resistance liquidity run to the upside. So that's totally fine by me. Just, it's not gonna work every time. So. Oh well, like I said, keep the risk managed. Keep the small losses small. Close the trade, Tanya. You're welcome. Someone said thanks for liquidity. You're welcome. My micro sim contracts aren't doing anything for liquidity, I promise you. Ugh, that's annoying. Yeah, if it works 50% and you're fine. You're fine if it works. It was a 3R. Like, it's coming back up now. It's just not easy for me to do this in front of right now. It didn't invert it. Maybe I should have held it. Tough. Decisions. The thing is, it's not. I'll get back in if there's an obvious, like, another shift higher with like a fair value gap. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If it breaks the high again or something, or like a 5-minute, if it breaks the 5-minute high, then I'll think about it. But for me, it's not worth it right now. I wanted it to explode from here. It took too long. It's likely not going to work out. I'm not going to let like this sort of like get me back in for no reason. Someone says, it's an ugly chart, I'm out. Thanks, Tanya. Yeah, it's ugly. From the beginning of the day, I said I'm not like, I don't have a good feeling. The fact of the matter is, like, If it was going to be good, this would have been the the quick manipulation and move up, not like this slow grind and then we're moving up. I'm totally fine with it. Right now, that's not like, what is it doing? It's not even creating a bullish fair value gap on this move up. And it's still holding below previous day low. And now YM seems to be the stronger one, so no. No thanks, bro. I'm good. Anyway, hit that like button. I'm thinking about, we do giveaways on this channel. Might do a giveaway on Friday with my funded futures. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's see what happens here. You can't get phased. Like, okay. The thing is, in a high resistance liquidity run conditions, it is so much easier also to mismanage trades, right? Like I did, like when I was long from here, right? I closed up. I'm fine. The idea was like, okay, I'd rather have further confirmation. I did, but I didn't chase it. You know, decent entry. And it's so easy to mismanage, which I kind of did here, right? Because I wanted it to invert this for me to get out. And I just made I made the decision that I don't want to be involved anymore. So it's important for me to not like just jump back in right away, because then that's just emotional trading, you know? And it's just so easy to mismanage things. So sizing down helps with that. Anyway. If this ends up working out, it'll be like, okay, I just mismanaged it and it's a lesson learned. Because like technically your stop should be here. But for me, I was like, oh yeah, this did not invert this. This closed into it. I just didn't like how it closed. Even this move up, you know, I'm not going to get sucked in. Look, there's literally no bullish fair value gaps here. So likely thinking until 11, we're not really going to do that much. I'll keep reading price though. If you guys manage your trades better, then congrats, you know. Happy for you. But like, you know, it's just knowing yourself and what you're likely to do. Like I've definitely gotten more hurt in the past, like trying to buy and then it slips lower, right? 'Cause it's still not willing to go to the buy side. If it's been how long already? 20 minutes in this range. So it's actually more likely for it to not work out. Typically my winning trades are like 15 minutes long. So. Oh, well, let's see if this inverts the 5 minute. How is this candle going to close? There's 7 seconds left. Yeah, it didn't. It just like closed exactly at it. What's this low? 16, and what's this close? 16, okay. So, let's check out what's happening here. Is it going to close above it with a displacement or not? Probably not. We'll see. This would be the 5 minute shift. and no inversion here when it's taking this. So I wouldn't even take this on the 5 unless it inverts it here. Yeah, it didn't close above this. No, this move up isn't even, I don't really care. So overall, I'm pretty happy with at least like how I managed risk. Came in knowing like I would have a larger audience today, so, but that's fine. I'm happy for it. Hit that like button. We're still reading price pretty decently, so. PM session is all. Someone likes the PM session way more. Control the emotions. Am I emotional, you guys? I don't know. Yeah, I'm totally fine. But thank you. I actually don't think that you can control emotions, and I think that's a fallacy. You can manage them, but you can't really control until you sort of deal with a deeper issue there. So in the moment, you can't really control it. You can just control your actions and make sure you're not emotionally trading this. Like, I'm still not going to get involved here. This is still ugly to me. It's not worth it. So displacement, this tiny fair value gap. There's no bullishness really on the 5. We didn't invert this. No, we'll see how this candle closes. If the 5-minute closes above, then maybe, but it will be a deep retracement again, and it's not going to be a fun hold. You know? This is how we do it, oh. Like, I would be up like 1 hour. It's not really that remarkable. My best trades are when I'm like in profit immediately, and like 5 minutes in, I'm already like up 20 points, and 10 minutes in, it's almost at the profit target, right? So this is really not a good trade. Look, it's not inverting this. Right? What's this 1 minute gonna do? It's probably gonna just retrace back into the range again. So, important to not emotionally trade. Like if you prematurely stopped out, you have to stick to that decision, which I did. Like I'm not gonna get involved again, honestly. See this 1 minute, like how this 5 minutes gonna close. Likely not gonna close above this. We'll see. Someone said I longed the weaker one. Yeah. But like NQ just typically moves a lot faster, so. Okay, let's see. It is closing above it, so that's good. Still, it's pretty nasty. Mark out 1050 to 1110. Okay, so 10 seconds, it will be closing above this inversion, and it took this high. There's still like, I don't know, there's not really an entry for me. If I'm looking at like the 1 minute, there's still like not an entry. You know, you have your 5 minute shift, there's this tiny, it's not like it displaced above with like a large fair value gap. It's just tiny one, which I don't really care about, frankly. So, meh. I'll watch it. I'll note how long it takes. NQ took London lows and ES didn't, so is that an SMT and it's bullish? It is. We did point that out. It is. However, we also had a bearish one on the hourly up here. And ES did also reach into this hourly fair value gap at like 8:30, and NQ didn't. So a few conflicting things, along with like just this price action. It's not in any hurry to get anywhere. It's not closing above a high. It's no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I tried like twice and mismanaged it, so I'm down 200. It's not a big deal for me. You know, there's no entry here. There's no I've seen this a lot of times where if it's slowly grinding up, it doesn't close above highs, it doesn't displace, there's no bullish fair value gaps, like it's not going to be clean, right? Which means it's likely going to come back lower into the range again, or even stop out people. So we'll find out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But nothing worth my money, essentially. Right? There's other times where price action is very clean. The 15-minute closes above or below with a fair value gap. You know, then the 1 minute retraces and that rebalances it. You know, 1 minute market structure shift. Like, that's the best. Here, can't really say much. I mean, ES is already above the pre-market highs, so ES is already up here. Back in the hourly fair value gap, NQ is not doing well. This woman is great. I don't even like my coworkers looking at me when I'm trading talk more over 4K people. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, US 30 doing exactly what you said. Yeah, let's see. So, yeah, it inverted took this 15-minute fair value gap and 15-minute low, create a fair value gap, took out London, and then I said it was going to invert this and go higher. Yeah. It's basically what you're seeing in the market is that it's taking these session highs and lows and not going further. Right? It goes back into the range. And that's a consolidation market. That's how you play them. Unfortunately, I still didn't manage it correctly. Had I would have been not even up a lot though. Been up 15 points on NQ and probably decide to cut it. So not really phased. I would have been up 1 hour or so. So ES here. This is an hourly fair value gap. We had that SMT. Perhaps I should have longed ES. I don't know. But it's always ugly. ES is always ugly. From here to here is only 5-point stop. Right, ES is back in its hourly fair value gap here. So it's just in the middle. This is in the middle of the range again, right? It's not closing below and displacing highs or lows. So it's a recipe for tougher environments. Look at NQ. It didn't get anywhere, so I don't really care that I'm not in a trade. I'm happy I didn't re-enter. Yeah, it's just ugly. If this is a true shift, it'll be more obvious, you know what I'm saying? Or the afternoon will give me something easier to work with. But otherwise, it's taking so long. We'll see if it starts at 10:50 to 11:10. This is your order block here. It's really not clean, honestly, so. I keep saying that, like, that means, like, it's just not easy. Rather be involved when it's easy. Yeah. So when I stopped out, that would just create a propulsion block. Still, look at this, like, move up, nothing. Still, it's like not closing above a high. It's creating higher highs, sure. But, yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it. Still not doing anything of interest. So it's important to recognize the conditions and like manage risk. Otherwise, I don't really care. The easiest action is when the 15-minute is clean. And look at the 15. Do you see anything clean here? No. What do you guys think? Let me ask the chat, like, did you take a trade today? Like, I recognize it's bullish, but I don't really want to get involved again. This is those things where it can, like, it can fail here and do another stupid seek and destroy thing and take out this low again. Why? Because, like, hey, how long has it been already since it created this fair value gap, right? 10:08. It's been 40 minutes. Oh, nice job, Bryce. Yeah, like I said, some people are going to manage to trade better than I am, so congrats if you did. You know, I would have been only, but like, you know, whatever, 14 points up. In the long run, it's not going to cost me too much doing this. So. Someone's up 12 cents. Small win. They just, okay, scalping. Yeah, pretty much. I don't like scalping. So, chop shop. Chop shop. Tanya trades. I missed your session yesterday. Can you kindly repost the key points link you posted yesterday? I reposted it on my Twitter. It should be like near the top. 12 cents, baby, says Michael Huddleston. Exactly. It's just like, it's not worth my mental capital to get involved again. Or my financial capital. Like when I'm doing this, when I'm like switching all these time frames, it's just like, I just know it's not good action. Like, to me, okay, failed to close above these multiple times. And we're likely just like retrace deeply again. Like maybe CE of this wick, maybe take this out. I don't know. I don't care enough. I just know I'm obviously not going to short it, but I'm also not going to long. you know, what is that? NQ hasn't moved from the range. So took out the session low at 950. I don't know if I consider like London low such a large liquidity level. Like I'm currently thinking about that whole thing where like, oh, if we take out liquidity from 930 to 10, I mean, it was into a previous day low into a daily fair value gap, so I guess so. So oftentimes then like it's just really pretty nasty action, which we're seeing here. I wouldn't be surprised if we take out this low again. So actually, let's take a little poll. Right now it's 1050 macro. We're nowhere near. We're in the middle of the range again. Ben, the markets have been ugly this entire month. Bad things coming. Markets telegraphing it. Yeah. That's ominous. It's very ominous. Let's take a poll. SSL or BSL first? What will get hit first? Okay, what do you guys think? What's gonna get hit first? This sell side down here or this buy side up here? Vote. Tanya Trades, did you notice that the ES 1 minute price action has become spottier since the beginning of 2023? Yes. Yeah. The 1 minute on ES looks like you're looking at like the 15-second, which is why I stick to NQ pretty much. Let's see. 54% says buy side before sell side. Let's see. I mean, we've failed. We're stalling way too much for me. If I was in my long stall, I would have cut it already by now. So I would not be in this. I mean, I already did cut it, but like in like the worst possible area. But like I said, I expected it for myself. So, you know, that's why I'm not really emotionally trading. If you understand that, like you set expectations at the beginning of the day. Like, okay, difficult conditions. Okay, I'm definitely going to have like a bigger audience. And then also, yeah, difficult conditions. So you take micros and you set your little rules and you make sure you follow what you set out to do. So with that expectation of me thinking about like, okay, I'm probably not going to trade the best, or I might take a loss. That way, I'm actually not really phased, right? Because it was expected. And like in trading in general, you can expect to take losses. I think that's what a lot of people go wrong. Like they were so, if you're like so confident in just like one particular setup, that's totally different than being confident in your system, right? If you're more confident in just like that one trade, now you're like putting way more and you start to size more, then you're going to put way more investment, personally invested in that trade. And you can really get messed up, right? Because if you get stopped out, you weren't expecting that. You were really expecting like a huge win or something. You could be emotionally trading and try to get back in, especially if something like this happens, right? If the next candle just like starts ripping back up and you stopped yourself out, like that's it. Just like I messed it up twice and that's fine. I took a $200 loss. It's not a big deal. So what's the poll saying? 53% says buy side. As always, the chat's always 50-50. It's so interesting. 47% says sell side first. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, ES and YM both are up and took the buy side again. What's this hourly candle going to close like? Pretty ugly. If you're if you're telling me, if you ask me. Pretty ugly. It's just wicked back into this body and is closing here. ES hourly totally looks different. ES is like back up here. ICT says he won't be trading Forex, period. Yeah, I find that kind of interesting, you guys, that like, you know, whoever started learning ICT like before 2022, I would say, right? They're trading mostly Forex. But in ICT, in the 2022 mentorship and in all the Shotgun Saturdays, like Michael warned about Forex, you know, highly manipulated and other things before all the things happened. So he was right about that. And he suggested people to switch to futures like 2 years before things happened to go down, right? Now, like, there's a bunch of things going on. I think basically Forex prop firms are kicking out all the US traders. Not even really that the SEC or the government's doing anything about it, but more like I think the brokers are taking a precaution against it. So they're not allowing the Forex prop firms to use them anymore if they have US clients. So that's the issue. So luckily for me, I started learning ICT in 2022 and I was like, okay, futures. And for me, I already was trading like the indices like via options and just common stock. So it was an easy switch for me. I actually don't really know much about Forex. So pretty interesting. So we were making higher highs, but still no displacement. So let's see here. It's between the 1050 and 1110 macro now. So we'll see. But anyway, check out futures prop firms. There's, what do I want to say? There's no slippage. I think that's what my Forex funds or whatever, MFF, they got in trouble for slipping people. I don't know what else they were doing. There's no slippage. It's a centralized exchange, right? The price is the same everywhere. Virtually no spread, right? If I put in a limit, I'm not going to really, there's no spread. It's like maybe one tick of spread. But yeah. Also, they're like more regulated, like, so. Yeah, people are quoting what happened in that court document where they said slip them to hell. That was actually insane, right? Someone on the inside there reported them and they got away. I don't know how much was the reward. It was at least $1 million, maybe 3 million. Like whoever leaked those emails was on the inside. So again, look at that. No close above the high. But it is between 1050 and 11. So we'll see. I will read the price. We'll see what happens here. You know, ES is inverting the hourly fair value gap. Just NQ is just so weak. I don't know why. What's holding down NQ mostly? Tesla's doing well. You guys remember like a week ago I said I was going to get into long dated calls for that. Looks like Tesla's up 3%. Google is down 1.7%. And Nvidia is down 1.5%. Okay. Oh, 1050 macro really starting it. You guys can't vote now in the poll anymore. Don't try to flip it to buy side. It was 50-50. 948 buy side draw. Yeah, it's right there. Interesting that it happened right at 11 at London close. Right? So that's some sort of large entity there for sure. Someone said the market is trash. Yeah, I don't mind missing out on this. How long would I have been in the trade for? 45 minutes. Oh well. And when I would have like entered, could have re-entered, but I chose not to. There is no entry here anymore. So definitely like they're not making it easy. It's not easy by any means. There's no like, it's like you have to get in and endure a lot of chop, and then when the move happens, there's no second chance. Like there's no like, how would you say, like a second distribution type of model. So, oh well. Happened on the 5 minute, sure. I really did not want it to get in. Right, that shift and then the 5 minute tiny one inversion. That's fine by me, honestly. Isn't futures the same thing? Yeah, it is the same thing. Like if you're trading NAS 100 on Forex, that's literally NQ, right? Or S&P 500, that's ES. So it's not like a hard move. It's not like hard to switch over. Also, there's like currency futures. Like 6E is the euro. Yo, Jimmy Johnston, that's too funny. Do you think things will improve in March slash spring? I think so. This is why it's also difficult, right? It's the end of the month. So the monthly candle is being formed. So it's pretty hard in that situation. Like tomorrow's the last day of the month. It's a leap year. When was the last leap year? In 2020? So I actually didn't trade that. I started trading in June 2020. So I wonder what that's going to be like tomorrow. Right, this is the monthly candle. Where were we just now? We were like, what was the low of the day? 876? Okay, so we were still above the previous month. And this. So that's still pretty bullish. But like it's making the wick, right? So obviously we don't know exactly where we're gonna end in the monthly candle. In the weekly, we're still in an inside week. Right? I have like zero FOMO right now. Like what is this weekly candle? It's so ugly. It's literally a doji. Inside week, tiniest body ever, indicating lack of willingness to go either way, along with everything on the higher time frame charts. So the only way to play these types of things are like how I said, is you have to anticipate it not following through, and you have to play the other way, which is still difficult because that's like the definition of a consolidation market. So, oh well. That's all I can say is like, oh well, the way I managed things today, it's okay. But yeah, March. I think it will be easier. I hope. Typically the spring is like pretty good. The fall is the best. November was the easiest month ever. Let me think for a moment. Okay, so chat was right. I mean, for a little bit about the buy side. So let me think for a moment. What was I trying to say? Tomorrow you have the last day of the month. Typically the easiest week of the month is the third week, which we saw like actually in February. A lot of people in the chat are funny. Like someone said, the consumer is done and so is our economy. A lot of doom and gloom here. The market has zero correlation to the economy for years. Yeah, in the US economy. We didn't have lots of war spending. Our GDP growth would be severely negative. Yeah, I don't know. Not so into yeah, like you said, it's not correlated, so if you're trading, you can't really be correlating it to news or too much. Because I remember, like, what was it, last year in March or February? I think it was the beginning of March when we had all those bank crises, right? Like there was like a bank run on one of the Silicon Valley Bank, right? I wasn't trading. I took a break at that time, but I remember being in physical therapy for my ACL, and I was watching the chart, and it was all doom and gloom in the morning, and that was just the manipulation. Everything just got bought back up. So you really can't be trading. By the time it's in the news, it's like too late, essentially, right? All the time. It's like buy the run up, sell the news, or whatever you want to do with that. By the time the GameStop thing was in the news, it's over. So, what do we have now? In consolidation markets also, you can't really be relying on like breakers and things like that, because the breaker is typically in the discount of the PDRA or the premium, and if you're consolidating, you're just like taking that high of the range and you're coming back in the middle. So you can't be taking things at the extreme ends of the range to go to the further for continuation. That makes sense. Anyway. A lot of people ask about USA making new wars. Congrats. Is that what happened? Who's blaming market? I don't know who's blaming the market, not me. I took responsibility for mismanagement, so. Pineapple doesn't go on pizza. Chat is crazy. Okay, this is the buy side. Somehow was able to trade in the consolidation before the blast off. Jared says. And with a losing trade in the AM, we know Tanya's going to come back in the PM and make another 15K. I don't think today, no. But that's funny. I mean, it was way different the day I made 15K. The 15-minute was way cleaner, for one. I don't even know if I'll trade the afternoon today. We're in between the high and the low. 972. I don't know what 972 you guys are referring to. This one? Even so, by 11:10, we did not reach the buy side of the hourly fair value gap. I mean, we obviously took, like, you could have made money. I would have made a lot of money, but it's fine. Would have, could have, should have, but didn't. What I'm trying to say is, like, this was total time distortion craziness. Just have to work on my timing. Maybe, like, in high resistance liquidity run conditions, I'll make a note of, like, don't take the first entry, wait, and maybe wait until 1050. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Anyway, we'll see if this gets hit by... Oh, it's already 11, so didn't. Is there any information on trading Forex and crisis events? Wars, pandemics, economic crash? How much is the delay? 7 seconds. Yeah, strong, yeah. Yep, this is the gap down. Kind of interesting, we never came back into this gap. Make sure. Welcome, by the way, Rodney Brown, Kevin McCauley, and FY to the Bagel Club. So, it's like the midpoint of this. Peak entertainment today, I think. Someone's personally requesting Michael to, he says, Michael, this PA sucks, make it better, please. Tanya, do you speak Russian? Yet. No, I'm not Russian. This month is worse than December. This is what I see now, is like, now we have like actual clean displacement on the 5 here. RTH is regular trading hours, yeah. Do I follow quarterly theory? No. Judas are cleaner than this. A lot of people just complain about price action. I mean, yeah. Just gotta stay solvent. The market can remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent, so. This is what I see now. See if that will be like the... Like I said though, like in consolidation markets, using the breaker blocks is like pretty difficult and risky. But I mean, we didn't really hit this buy side yet. I do know someone who's definitely going to be buying this. What is it? 11:10 right now? Closed above this. London action again was way cleaner. I know. I will mark out this to see, but like we also have another one in discount here. This is the one that like lines up. We can take like the range, right? If this is a market maker, if this is a buy model, I mean, but the initial consolidation is really just like here. Like the first, I can take the range to see where we are in the range right now. I agree though, the action kind of sucks. I could have done a lot better. Okay. Okay, we're above 50% here. I don't know. I'm not gonna just long that. We're above the 50% mark. If there was like some sort, literally, like if it came back in the Fear Valley gaps here, maybe I would have participated, but I'm not into this. I'd rather just like watch it. It's totally fine to watch. Like I said, first trade was like a scratch, second trade mismanaged, so totally fine. It's not the best. Want to see, yeah, what do you see at 72.25? Here? $72.25? Tony got hacked. I mean, what's been happening is like we've been just taking the initial buy side and then oh, when he sees this. We can do this. I don't know what you see at the 72 area. Hmm. $72.25. Yeah, 70 is the top of the hourly Sibi. That's what I saw as well. But I don't really see much else there. There it is. What's the high there? 62.25. 63 is the buy side. So stalled. There it is. Buy side hit right there. Buy side winners. You think I think you wrongly put the midpoint of the RTH gap? I'll look again. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the 5-minute worked out. Pretty nice to see. Other than that, on body clothes, you are required to use yesterday's closing candle in the opening, but instead you selected the wick of the candle. Did I? Let me see what I did. I'll do it again for you guys. I'm sorry. Right, because it is the 9:30 open. You're right. Okay. Yeah, so it's way further down than that. Chat winning. #1 chat on YouTube. I see the opening is 23.75. Why is it? Oh, the open. It's down here. 68.5. 68.5. So let's see. Wrong again. Yesterday's close. Oh shit. Oh my god. Bro. I don't know why. Right now I'm like kind of distracted. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Close. Open. Close. Open. Yeah. There you go. Big love from Indonesia. Thanks for coming. You know, congrats to people that managed better than I did today. That's all I can say. There were chances to get back in, but at that point, I knew that, like, I still wasn't going to manage it correctly, if that makes sense. Yeah, my trade would have worked. Both trades would have worked. I would not have gotten stopped out here. That was my stop. And, you know, this one, just, I can say, definitely I mismanaged. My stop was there, and I was looking for if it inverted it, and it didn't. And then here, you know, because of those two, I decided I will continue to watch and, like, learn and read price and see, okay, this is how it played out. This is how long it took, right? So from this major shift at 10:08 in this high resistance liquidity run, it took about an hour and 10 minutes to get to the buy side. So what can you learn from that? You know, just you have to either stick to the plan, or if you know you're in high resistance conditions, then you can wait a little bit longer. You don't have to get the first entry. But not much. Other than that, read correctly but executed incorrectly, so no brownie points for me there. For me, no ICT breaker, no trade. You kind of had one here. You had one here on the 5. On the 2-minute, actually. The 5 is like this one. So here, yeah, I didn't really want to get in. I just said, like, I was going to read price, so that's what ended up happening. It did come back and dug into this breaker, fair value gap, and went to the buy side. Thank you, Noka Jones. Honestly, I have a pretty good moderator, so I've only seen pretty good comments, so thanks for coming, and yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, like, still pretty difficult action. Perhaps we made a Wednesday low of the week, considering the daily. considering the daily right now, this is the weekly ugly. Considering the daily, we've gone into this daily fair value gap 3 times and wicked it. However, it's, you know, the end of the month, so we don't really have to do much. So tomorrow's the last day of the month. Tomorrow's a leap year. I don't really know exactly how that's gonna work out. This was disgusting price action, someone says. Yeah. But it was definitely like tradable to a point. First time I loved it. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Like the stream. We'll be back here tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. And have a great day, everyone. Stay safe.